Hey everyone, this is Julian from the Binary Lab, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you like 8 of the top reasons why many people lose money in binary options. So, um, this bunch of stuff that I'll be sharing with you are like a collection of various factors. And this list, if I was to make this video some time ago, let's say like a year ago, 2 years ago, this list would probably only be about like 5 or 6 different things. But I've actually added on 2 additional points into this video because I've just been recently speaking to some people on Facebook that contacted me, and I found out that the additional points 7 and 8 are some things that a lot of people are actually falling victim to nowadays, and it's a very sad thing. So, without further ado, I'm going to run through this list. Okay, I'm try to keep this video short. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Over here in the chat. And by the way, I mean it's a Monday. It's a lazy Monday. That's why I haven't shaven yet. So anyway, that's just me. Okay, so the first thing why people lose money in binary options is because they have no understanding. So a lot of people come in because they just see other people doing it, and without actually learning about what's a candlestick, what are indicators, what are some of the ways to trade, how do you even profit in binary options, how do you choose the correct duration for binary options. So without a proper methodology, you're just betting. Okay, so that's the first reason why people lose money in binary options: no proper understanding. The second thing that a lot of people tend to lose money in binary options is that because they don't have strategy. Okay, like if you come to like my training group on Facebook, uh, Telegram, and my webinars and all that, basically you will see that when I teach, I have a few different approaches to trading, and like it's basically like a, if this happens, then this is what's going to happen next. So we actually look at a few different kind of market scenarios, and I've narrowed them down to about like there are about five ways of trading that I typically use right now. So it's like a if and then kind of thing. If this happens, we use this strategy, which captures this movement that happens in the market. Okay, so if you find that you don't have a fixed way of deciding when to click higher or when to click lower, and you're just basically guesstimating it every single time, then you're set up for failure. You're definitely going to lose money in binary options. So the number three, okay, wrong strategy. So like I said, the point number two that I just gave you is no strategy. But now point number three is wrong strategy, because if you're using like the wrong strategy at the wrong time, or the yeah, basically it's always going to be wrong strategy, wrong time. There's no such thing as wrong strategy at right time. So you're kind of assessing a situation wrong and putting the wrong strategy on it. I have some videos in the past where I talk about how you flow with the market, and when you flow with the market, there's going to be a certain kind of adaptation error. I've talked about this before in my previous videos. I think you can search my YouTube channel for like the adaptation equation. Look out for that video because I explain more about that. So like we need time to adapt to the market. We need to identify when the market is changing and adapt the correct strategy to it. So in that time that we take to identify and assign a different strategy, sometimes we can be a bit slow. But however, people who do not have proper training in binary options, or sometimes you're just very new to it, you can have the mistake of assigning the wrong strategy to the market. So that's something that can be fixed. But this is the third way that many people lose money in binary options. So then point number four, okay, is about like having the wrong time of trading at the wrong time of the day and trading in the wrong market conditions. What is the wrong time of the day? Well, there is no fixed wrong time of the day, but generally what is universally a wrong time of the day is when the payouts are very low on that broker. Every broker has different like payouts at different times of the day, and sometimes at certain times of the day the payouts are really low. So I'm not sure about you. I live in Asia, and in the morning during the Asian market, unless there is news from China or Japan, the payouts for most binary brokers are typically very low. It's typically within in the very miserable range of about like 50 to 70%, which is considered low. So if you are getting up and you're deciding to trade, or let's say it's the end of your day, depending on your time zone, and you're seeing really lousy payouts, you're set up for disaster because just based on the payouts alone, you're going to need, in some cases, like 2 winning trades in a row just to break even a losing trade, and that's not the way it should be. Okay, you should be able to break even, um, a losing trade with a winning trade, more or less 1-to-1, or just a little bit more than 1-to-1. Okay, otherwise you're set up for disaster. So, let's say if you're trading at a time of day when the payout is about 80%, that's okay. But if you're trading at a time of day where the payout is less than 60%, I actually recommend that you don't trade. Now, I also mentioned that wrong market conditions is another time that you should avoid. So it may be your lunch break, but the lunch time for many people in many parts of the world, let's say the lunch hour in Asia, is also when the markets are at rest. The lunch time in the American time zone for the New York market, for instance, is when the market is at rest. The tea break in the London session is when the market is at rest. And if you are trading when the market is at rest and binary options needs movements for the markets to make you money, then how are you going to make money during these times? So therefore, the point number 4, okay, wrong time of day, wrong market conditions, and just try to avoid that. Now, point number 5 is like poor money management. You can in fact get away with good money management. You can in fact get away with making all the previous mistakes that I mentioned and still manage the loss that you make. But if your money management is poor, then basically you are actually set up for disaster as well. Because, for instance, could you imagine, or maybe even think of a time that you last made the mistake where you were trading, you didn't have a strategy, you had no understanding, um, you were at the wrong time of the day where payout was low, market conditions was bad, and you were losing. And in order to cover for your loss, you were just compulsively trading trade after trade after trade after trade, and you're increasing your trade sizes with every trade. And the market was basically, taking up and down. So how's that going to be? How's that going to work out nice? That's never going to end well. So even in the webinars that I conduct every week, when I see like conditions are bad, have there been weeks where we lost only on webinars? Yes, there have been. So I think it was like 3 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago on those webinars, I had to stop the webinar when we made like 3 consecutive losses or 2 consecutive losses, because on those conditions, it was just bad. And I just wanted to lead by example by stopping the webinar early. If we continue, there's no point because the movement was bad and the market wasn't really playing ball. It wasn't because it was quiet, but in fact, the movements were very erratic. But if we looked at like last week and the week before last week, on those webinars, we basically kept going on and on and on. I think we did over 10 trades in a 1 hour span because the market was really good. So we just kept going. So this is about like money management, okay? And in my webinars, by the way, I am forced by the broker to demonstrate responsible trading. So we do not martingale, although I do have a course which is about martingale masters, which you can get for free, by the way. I'm going to give you information on that in the video description. It's not there right now, but I'm going to update it. Martingale Mastered is a way that you can use Martingale to make consistent profits in binary options trading. But the only thing is that you need to apply it at the right times of day when the payout is high and there is movement, when there's actual movement. You don't apply it when there's no movement, because if it's like, if it's bullish 1 minute and bearish the next, how are you even going to decide which direction to go with? Okay, so now, so that is the poor money management. Okay, now we're going to go on to point number 6, impatience and no willingness to learn. So there's a lot of people that message me on a daily basis to my Facebook page. And by the way, my Facebook page link is down in the video description, the business page. So the Binary Lab page is located. It can be found on Facebook at facebook.com/the Binary Lab page. You can locate us there. You can ask questions over there. I have admins to answer questions, and I also check the page myself once in a while. So like, I get a lot of questions along the lines of, well, people just I don't want to learn. I want to make money. Or like, can you invest for me? Can you invest with me? I think the people that are impatient and not willing to learn, these people are the ones that will often lose in binary options because you will often fall into scams. Um, like there are a lot of people that police my, not police, troll is the word. They troll my Facebook, they troll my YouTube, and basically look out for people who are lazy, and they target people who are lazy. So they would claim to be an associate of mine or an admin of mine, um, and the thing is that lazy people will believe anything they want to believe when they have some ideas that they can make a lot of money. So when people are desperate or people are greedy, they like to just accept anything that fits into what they're looking for, which is like an easy, no time required, done for you solution. So lately, I've had people who've fallen victim to scams of people who troll on Instagram, who troll on YouTube, who troll on Facebook, and they claim to be associated with me somewhat. And the irony of the situation is that I've never personally outright contacted people to say I'm going to trade your account. I've never offered that before. Okay, I've never personally accepted money for the purpose of providing trading. And it's ironic that some of these people, they ask for like 250, and then they ask for like the transfer fee. Oh, your 250 is now 14,000, and first I need to settle tax before I can transfer you like 3,000. All this like complicated BS that I'm hearing from people, and it just angers me so much because these people who fall into these scams, they could have actually spent all this money to learn. Okay, and by the way, if you really are too lazy, too impatient, and you just want a done-for-you solution, I have some solutions for you in the video description. Uh, Basically, you can actually open an account with Pocket Option. Okay, there's a link down there. You can actually click into the trading, social copy trading, and just follow whoever you like in terms of the trading, and you're all set. Okay, you don't have to trust random people on the internet. You don't have to personally send money to anyone, and you shouldn't. Okay, um, you can actually go do this all safely by and regulated through the regulated broker using their deposit channels and following someone on social copy trading. Because at least if you lose money that way, you can see how the money was lost, but not because you send money to a complete stranger online and you don't know what they did with the money. You never ever see the account, and then the money, when the money is gone, the people disappear. You don't know how to get it back. So I mean, just seriously, guys. And there's also like this crypto opportunity that I've been posting on my recent videos on YouTube. Well, that actually pays 4 to 9% per month. I've got a link to that in the video description as well. So if you're really too lazy, look into that. Um, so that's point number 6, which is like impatient and not willingness to learn. Point number 7. Okay, point number 7 is that you trust other people with accounts. With your accounts. There are a lot of people out there who are too trusting, and you actually trust your accounts to other people online who claim to trade your account. So seriously, okay, like it's funny how people spring up scams in my name, saying that like Julian Wong will trade your accounts. Well, physically that's not even possible. Like binary is a very, very fast activity, and the whole point why people trade binary options is because it's fast, and we trade the lower time frames like 30-second chart, 1-minute chart. If it's going to be slow, we trade forex, right? Now, do not trust other people with your accounts, and you should never ever do that, okay? Because there's a lot of things that can possibly go wrong. Number 1, you do not know their track record in trading. Number 2, you have no way of ascertaining their track record in trading. Number 3, there's so much more that they can do once they have access to your account details. They can deposit more money, and they can withdraw money to other places, which you don't know about. So recently, I got to hear from one of my members in Singapore, who unfortunately entrusted her account to someone else, and then basically deposited more money using the account details that were on file, and then withdrew it to other places, like I think it was Skrill or something. So I mean, this is ridiculous. Don't ever do that. If you are lazy, you're asking for trouble. If you are lazy, you shouldn't even trade. Okay? If you're lazy, you should use something like Forex Pan, which is in the description. You should use social copy trading in Pocket Option. That's also in the description. You should do something like crypto investment that I mentioned, which pays 4 to 9% a month. That's also in the description. But do not give your account details to someone else. Um, so point number 8 is really a combination of point number 6 and 7, which is people lose money buying options because they fall victim to scams. There are all these robot deals out there, and there are all these other trade for you services where you send money to someone online. There are these account manager scams. I mentioned that so many times on my YouTube channel, but yet people still fall for it. It's annoying. It's very annoying. Lastly, there was someone who was stealing my pictures and creating like a fake Instagram account and adding people and offering like something. It was like what, double your Bitcoin or something within 36 hours. I mean, seriously, it's all ridiculous. If it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. So these are so many factors that like you should actually and just take note of all these things that I mentioned in this video. I mean, don't be the greedy one or the lazy one that because of your laziness and greed fall to a scam. So binary options itself is legit. And binary options today is a lot more legit than it was many years ago. Nowadays, binary options brokers are mostly regulated because the regulators are so busy kicking out the frauds on a daily basis. They're kicking out all the brokers that have no certification. They're kicking out the brokers that don't have enough paid up capital. They're kicking out brokers that don't have enough financial float or bad accounting. And all that remains, for instance, the brokers that I promote nowadays, they're all very good and they're all regulated in not just one or two, but sometimes even like 5 places. For instance, IQ Option has many different regulation licenses. Pocket Option is regulated by the FMRRC. Olim Trade has a bunch of licenses as well, and like for people in Australia, there's like high-low. So I'm going to update this video of various regulated places that you can trade, but don't just jump into it. Actually, spend some time to learn, because binary options is really something where like knowledge is power, and if you spend the time to learn, you can definitely make money when you start trading at the right times of the day when the market conditions are right. If you are constantly out there just trying to, like do it at your own whims and fancies, or just uh, doing it with no strategy, or if you're just going out there and just randomly doing it like as though you're gambling, then yes, it is a gamble. So like just don't do all of the stuff that I mentioned. I'm just checking on the comments. Okay. I would love to hear about that, because like what kind of error did you receive with this IQ option withdrawal thing? Because as far as I know, they process it quite fast. There was one guy I know from South Africa. He was on my page, and okay. Okay, one thing I know right now is that, like there's a known issue affecting all the binary brokers right now is withdrawing to Skrill, because in many countries, Skrill is now trying to disassociate themselves from binary options and gambling in general. So, and many localized offices for Skrill also have a problem. They're actually rejecting these withdrawals. So like nowadays, the way to go about it is to go into other ways of withdrawal, such as like, like BTC, and that's actually a preferred way to withdraw. But I think that's not offered at IQ. But they do have some other online wallets like e-payments on. I think those are actually good ways. Yeah, exactly. So if you're in the States, well, Nadex is a good option. Pocket option is actually accepting people in the US as well if you don't want to have to learn the whole interface for Nadex. James, are you, did you actually like, you know what? No, it doesn't matter if you signed up to me or not, but why don't you send a message to me on Facebook, on my personal Facebook, and just send me your personal account number on IQ, and I'll just check out with my account manager to see what the issue is. Because I was helping someone with his case in South Africa just last week, where he tried to withdraw, and then there was a notice saying that your account is like one of the random accounts that we're just vetting over. It could take anywhere up like between 2 to 10 days, just for like some random KYC AML spot checks. Yeah, right on. Yeah, message me on Facebook and I can help you with that. Just check that out. I at least want to see. I want to know. What's going on with that, because as far as I know, IQ option is pretty fast. Pocket option is very fast. They pay withdrawals within like half a day. Okay, a day or half a day. Like so far, when I've requested withdrawals, it's like half a day is pretty fast. So I hope you guys like, you know, appreciate the points that I've mentioned in this video, like 8 main reasons why people lose money in binary options. And there are some additional things. I'm going to be updating this video later on with other regulated brokers that you can use. And I'm also going to be updating this video with a video training that I've done, which is like, I think it's something about um, best ways to trade in 2019 for 1 minute and 5 minutes. So that basically is a video to kind of like educate you on the different price patterns that tend to happen in the market, so that you can recognize them when you go out there and trade. It's not going to be as effective as if you join me in Binary Lab Elite, where you can join in my webinars and learn, but it's going to get you somewhere. Okay, and of course, my free programs like Martingale Mastered, Binary Lab Basics, that will get you somewhere. By the way, I'm also like trying out, okay, a signals program as well, where you guys can actually use my training methods in the form of signals without learning. So if you're really lazy, this can actually help you out. Okay, basically, I'll be making videos on for you to teach you how to navigate the various trading interface. Typically, it's going to be IQ option and pocket option. I'm going to be showing you how to navigate the interface to set the trade expiry correct, choose the asset. Just do some basic charting setup to be the same as what my trade signal will be. Okay, and then these are given out using a Telegram group during the London session. A London session, why? Because the London session is the most stable session. So if you're interested in this signals program, right now we're doing a deal where you can actually message my Facebook page, go to pocket option, sign up for pocket option. You can sign up for pocket option using my link in the video description, and basically get 3 months access to 3-month access to this trading signals trial. And you can actually get these videos on how to navigate the platform and how to use the signals. Okay, so basically, just get in contact with my Facebook page. Okay, could you hit over there? Thank you. So get. Huh? No, I'm doing a YouTube live. Yeah. They're supposed to stop now. They're supposed to stop now. It's 1 hour. Okay, so let me just take a look into some of your questions. Yes, in response to the prayer kit, it says everyone says binary options is gambling, but I see it no different than stock options. Well, exactly. So it's no different from stock options. It's just a lot quicker. So I like the way you put it, because stock options actually pay based on, in terms of timing. The more correct you are in your prediction, the price of the option actually goes up, and you can actually get a bigger reward. And when the time is running out and you are actually, there's this time decay element, which is the same element when you sell the trade early as well. So it's exactly a sell option. But if you do it in a way that is very unintellectual, then it is like gambling. Yes, people who do not know how to trade, then it's gambling. So yes, like for those people who are in the London, hey kids, can you go somewhere else? Your sound is going to get into my video. That's when the kids are out, school's out, right? Yeah, exactly. So where was I? So let's say if you want to get a guideline, this is how it actually works. Okay, in the signals program is a 3-month thing, and basically it's kind of the way I have it in mind is that I my long-term goal is to get more of you into my training group, right? People who are interested to learn about the whole process of trading, so you never get scammed again, and you only ever be successful. But what this signals project can help you accomplish is that when you come in, you're gonna get signals for like every day for 3 months, and this is actually valued at $129 a month. The number of signals varies from day to day depending on market conditions. So like if the market conditions are bad, the session can be shortened to protect your account. And when you come into the signals group, I would recommend that you take every trade at the same size. I do not recommend martingaling, but even without martingaling, if your goal is just to get 3 net wins in a single day, and you stop when you get 3 net wins per day, you're actually already looking at 4 or 5% profit per day. If you're just trading 2% per trade, and if you're trading 3% per trade, you're actually looking at between like 6 to 7.5% per day, which is pretty solid. Okay. Oh, hi. I'm looking at the comment from is it Quilleen Carthy? Did I pronounce your name correct? So I follow me for ADHD. Um, okay, this is talking about options trading. So like I actually teach binary options. Been teaching that for like 7 years now, and I find that for people who didn't do well in stocks, who didn't do well in forex, and basically just too impatient to and or don't like to monitor trades, or don't or want to have like peace of mind when you sleep, you don't have to worry about what's running on your account. But then I think that binary options is actually one very good way to make money online really fast. But you need to know how it works, and you need to know methods of trading. A good way to get started is trading signals, for instance, because in this trading signals program that I've been talking about, it's not just about the signal, but every signal you get 3 pieces of information. You get to know what time frame, what currency pair, and what method it will be based on. And right after that, there will be screenshot, so you can check that your entry was correct. And over time, you can tune yourself to be accurate. So the first week, just go easy. Take a step back. Like, could you turn the fan down by one number? It's too much. It's too much noise. Yeah. Um, so you can actually like where was I? Okay, so let's say in the first day or two, I highly recommend you just watch, okay, or do it on demo. Um, after maybe the first week, or maybe on the fifth day of the first week, you can start going really small, like $1 per trade, if you think you get it, and then that's when you start to scale only in the second week. So the first week, just take a step back, don't rush into it, and basically, just uh, from that point on, when you start getting the hang of what the trade should look like, you have its mental image. I'll be also giving you like a whole archive of photos of each different kind of trading type, so you can refer and understand what, let's say, okay, river crossing method, how does that look like? Reversal, what does that look like? Breakout, what does that look like? Triangle, what all these setups look like, and you can expect, you know, from all these mental images you have, how to trade it. But like I said, it's for a lot of people, signals would just be like a stepping stone, because I want you to kind of like get an idea um, of trading, and as in the process, when you start making money, I would love for you to get more interested in trading, so that you can learn, so that you actually desire to learn more about it. in the beginning, I know everyone's driven by money. It's just totally realistic. I know everyone is very realistic. Everyone just wants to make money online. That's the basic goal, right? I bet most of you who watch my videos, you don't really care about the whole trading stuff, but you just want to make money online. But if you want to make money online through trading, then you have to learn how it works. The first way I can support you is to give you good signals, high quality signals with screenshots. Um, every trade, whether it's a win or loss, you will see the diagram afterward. So you know that that trade actually happened, and you can actually tune yourself. And after you get the hang of it, I would love for you to desire to learn more, so you can actually go through the process of my Martingale Master Program, my Binary Lab Basics program. In fact, you also get Binary Lab Basics for free when you actually use a single course. And then after that, I would like for you to get more interest in like learning on a weekly basis through live coaching sessions on the webinars that I teach on a weekly basis. I traded IQ for let's see. I think it was like three years. Or is it 4 years now? Yeah. Oh, by the way, if Killeen Karthi, if I got your name right once again, if you you know, I saw that you mentioned that you followed my channel for my ADHD videos. Just a tip for people who have ADHD out there. I think if you're looking for a natural solution to overcome ADHD, and if you are trying to cut back on Ritalin, okay, what I do is I take like B complex, and I take L-tyrosine. It's a protein, L-tyrosine. It's really good. So, for example, I feel that I feel the same way. I'm more cognitive, and I'm more alert, and I can actually cut back on my what do you call it? I also take organic coffee. I have a lot of it right here. So I'm taking right now like organic hilltop coffee from Khao Yai in Thailand. Um, so yeah, so organic Arabica. We have, and then we got like L-tyrosine and B complex. The reason why I'm actually doing this instead of Ritalin so often is because I find that on days that I don't sleep enough, I find that my pulse rate actually goes up when I take Ritalin, and I don't like the feeling. So yeah, I think this is a really good alternative. Oh, do we have any questions? Other questions about like? I mean, I know for the last couple of minutes you've just been talking a whole bunch of random stuff, but like, do you have any? Are there any other questions before we wrap up this video? This video has been about 8 main reasons why people lose money buying options. So anyone who just hopped on can actually like post a question in the live chat section. You know what? I think around the same time tomorrow, I'll do a YouTube live just to talk about the binary signals that I'll be delivering, and I'll be on hand to answer any questions about it. Give you some live examples as well, and I really hope that it will be a good way to get people initiated into the proper way of trading, because just too many like. If people really want an easy fix, well, like I hope this is not going to be that easy, because you're still going to have to know how to use the platform. But if you even spend a little bit of time to go through some videos on how to use the platform and how to take the trade, then you can actually earn. And I hope that you can see this earning happen for you. I think it's a really no-brainer proposition, because although I'm giving like a 3 months free trial, when you open a broker account through me of like 300 pocket options, which is really little, because that's the minimum deposit for most brokers anyway. However, even with that amount, and even if anyone had to pay a monthly subscription after 3 months, which by the way, I'm actually planning on giving people the option of depositing again to get extension of the subscription. It's going to be really worth it, because 129 is like what, $4 plus per day. But if that $4 plus per day, if you are trading like 3% of your account each time, and you're just getting like 3 net wins per day, you're already looking at 18 to 22 bucks per day, which is more than paying for the subscription. So it's like you're paying $4 a day to get like 18 to 22 bucks per day profit, which is huge. I mean, that's based on a $300 account on 3% per trade. And if you're using a $1,000 account, which a lot of people actually open $1,000 accounts, use 2% per trade, you can actually you're actually looking at like 4 to 5% a day. That's 40 to 50 bucks per day. So that's like paid over tenfold, right? So it's a no-brainer. Anyway, if anyone wants to chat more, you're most welcome to contact on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/thebinarylab page. Or you can also follow me in my personal profile as well. On my personal profile on Facebook, it's facebook.com/theprofessionalbum. Uh, because on my Facebook profile, I like to post a lot of inspiration. It's not everything about trading. I also post about other stuff, like some crypto stuff that I do, some forex stuff that I do, some affiliate marketing stuff that I do, and some mindset stuff in general. So after this video, if you like what I mentioned, head over there, follow my Facebook page, facebook.com/thebinary page, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and follow me on my personal Facebook as well. No, binary is not stock investment. It is very short-term based trading. You're just basically you're getting paid to predict whether the price goes up or down. Is there a best time to trade? Well, I mentioned earlier in this video, the best time to trade is when the payout is above 70% or 80%, and there is good movement in the market. So what is bad movement? Bad movement is like, oh, incidentally, I do have my kids' colored pens right here. So if we have, my daughter is giving me a face right now. So let's say we have bullish candle, and then we have bearish candle, and then we have bullish candle. We have whoops, oh crap, I didn't crack it. We have bearish candle, bullish candle, bearish candle. So this is actually a really bad market, and you shouldn't actually be trading that, because what you should be seeing is like this. I don't know whether this is going left to right or right to left. If it's like this, that's a good market to trade. Or like this keep going down, and this is going up. That's a very good market to trade. But if you keep saying this, that's a shitty market, and you shouldn't be trading. So that's I mean, this is a really lousy illustration or limited illustration, but I hope you get the idea. So if you see these kind of markets, it's a bad time to trade. Don't do that. All right. So I think that's enough for this video, and I really appreciate your presence on this one. I forgot to post this on my Facebook actually, but well, is this a good time? I would love to do live videos like this on a more regular basis, and if you guys yeah, I'm gonna actually check what time I started out this video, and if people think that this is a good time, I would love to come out and chat with you guys on means like have some kind of a random well, Nico Medico, I think you obviously came on very late in this video. I explained just about everything. Well, and Forex, to be fair, I think I'm gonna do a different video angle at Forex. So today I mean, binary you can make money, Forex you can make money, but there are obviously do's and don'ts. So today I talked about 8 reasons why people lose money in binary options. And in another video, I'm going to talk about the 8 reasons why people lose money in Forex. It could be less reasons or more reasons. Yeah. All right. Anyway, enjoy the video replay. I'm going to be ending the stream right now.